What's up guys, welcome back to another video. Now I'm recording part the way through game week 14, so I don't have all the scores, but it's looking pretty good for me and I'm sure it's looking pretty good for a lot of you in there. If you have Fernandes, if you've got Salah, it's looking pretty good. But if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to like it and subscribe to the channel as well. That would be really appreciated and help grow the channel. What we're going to do in this video is have a quick look back at game week 14 and how it's gone for me so far, although I have 2 players left to play. We're then going to have a look at a few potential transfers for me ahead of game week 15. Now I've got 2 free transfers available for me, so how am I going to use them? What am I going to do with the blank game weeks and the double game weeks, and what players will I bring in for those? And then we'll have a look at the end at my game week 15 team, how I plan on lining up, and most importantly, who my captain is going to be for game week 15. But without further ado, let's get into it. So let's start off by having a review of my game week 14 transfers and see if they paid off. So I actually made no transfers in game week 14. I rolled my free transfer. I thought Lamptey would play and other players like that, so I will have 2 free transfers available for game week 15 as I made no transfers and no changes to my team ahead of game week 14. So let's have a look at how my team got on in game week 14. In goal, we had Martinez, who returned 6 for me again. To start off with it, a really good return from him for another game week running. That's 3 game weeks in a row he's had good returns, so happy with Martinez again this week. Into the defence now, I still have 2 of my players left to play. I did start Lamptey this game week, although he didn't play. Potentially has an injury, we'll have to monitor that for future transfers, so Kyle Walker-Peters has come in for him. Balbuena does have a knock. Fingers crossed he can play and at least get a couple of points tonight away at Chelsea, and Chilwell's still left to play with West Ham at home in the last match of game week 14 tonight. Now, after a potentially poor return from my defence, my midfield really came up trumps for me this game week. To start off with Grealish, 2 assists and a bonus point in a 3-0 win got him 10 points this week. It didn't look great for the first half, but second half he really came to his own and some great points for him there. Son with a 2. Now, this isn't necessarily bad because everyone owns Son. He could have had something against Leicester on another day, although it wasn't a great performance from Spurs, so just 2 for Son. Salah, who we had rumours of him getting benched, he did get benched, but he came on in the second half and scored 16 points. A great return from him. I didn't captain him just because I thought he wasn't going to start, and I was right to do so, but amazing to see what Salah can do off the bench. Incredible asset. If you don't own him, make sure you get him in as soon as possible. De Bruyne, the next one, my vice captain this week. He had Southampton, he got the assist for the goal, 5 points for him. Ticking along okay, but not really warranting the full price that he is at the moment of almost 12 million. So he is one that if I need funds for elsewhere, he could go, but for the moment I'm happy with him with some nice upcoming fixtures for City. The final one in my midfield, captain Bruno Fernandes with 34 points. Now this came 2 goals and an assist in a 6-2 win against Leeds. A great return for Bruno, really happy with him. There are 2 players this year who I think you need in your teams, Salah and Bruno. If you don't have either of them or you don't have both of them, get both of them in your team as soon as possible. And I just plan on rotating my captaincy between the 2 of them because of the consistency they have shown. Onto the forward line, Bamford with a 2. Okay, it's against United. They've been really consistent recently. Leeds, Bamford's been getting the points, so happy with him. And Calvert-Lewin with a 4, an assist and a yellow card, very strange yellow card late on in the game. Not too many points from these 2, but I know what they've done for me in recent weeks, and my midfield came in trump, so I'm not too bothered about that. With the bench, again, the right decisions made. Lamptey fell to the bench after he didn't play. Mitchell didn't get any minutes, and Brewster got just 1 point as he looked really poor for Sheffield United. Potentially looking at how I can improve my bench going forward, but for now, it's just going to be continuously being Mitchell and Brewster, and then whichever of my defenders have the worst fixture. So how did that impact my team overall? So I'm currently on a game week score of 81 with 2 players left to play, or 1 player if Balbuena isn't fit enough to play. Game week rank of 50k, a good rank, gives me a strong green arrow, moving my overall points up to currently of 905. If I can finish the game week on 910, so get 5 more, that would be good enough for me, happy with that. And this has given me a strong green arrow from 55k up to 35k, so a good game week 14 for me. finished Christmas on a high, a great rank to go into the second half of the season with. So yeah, really happy with this game week. Fingers crossed I can get a few more points tonight, but if I don't, it's been a great game week nonetheless. So now that we've reviewed my Game Week 14 team, let's have a look at my potential transfers for Game Week 15. So players that I'm potentially transferring out are Balbuena. Now I'll have to see if he's fit to play in tonight's game. West Ham are yet to kick off in Game Week 14, so I'll have to see if Balbuena is ready. If he is, then he's likely to stay, but it is most likely it's Lamptey who's likely to leave my team. Now the points have not been there for Lamptey. He's looked lively, he's getting up and down that right flank, but the points aren't there, and the fixtures coming up for Brighton on the near future are difficult, so not a player that I'm really wanting in my team anymore. In terms of replacements, there are 3 replacements that I'm looking at. Charlie Taylor, a budget option for Burnley, who have kept 3 clean sheets in their last 5 games and go away to Wolves this evening. Now, there could be a lot of potential returns for him from a defensive point of view, but not much from an attacking threat. But at just 4.5 million, he does offer great value for money. We then have Lindelof. Now, Manchester United and Lindelof seem to be returning more points than they did at the start of the season. Clean sheets are still a little bit few and far between, but his passing and his goal threat is actually quite high compared to a lot of other defenders. So there is potential for goal threat and clean sheet potential from Lindelof, with some nice upcoming fixtures as well. So it could be a nice pick, or it could be points chasing as well. I haven't decided yet. And the final one is Dallas, who has had a lot of returns recently, both a few clean sheets and a few goals and assists as well for Leeds. So it does seem that with their upcoming fixtures being nice, a double game week in there as well for Leeds, that Dallas could be the way that I go. He's nice and cheap in comparison to someone like Lindelof, so I think Dallas is probably the most likely transfer, although Taylor does offer much better value for money, which could swing it in the favour of Taylor. So just to summarise those transfers, it would be either Balbuena, but most likely Lamptey out, and to bring in their place it would be Taylor, maybe Lindelof or Dallas, with Taylor and Dallas being the 2 most likely replacements for Lamptey in my team. So now that we've had a look at my potential transfers for Game Week 15, let's actually have a look at how that will impact my team and how I will line up for Game Week 15. Just before we get into the final section of this video is sponsored by Fantasy Football Hub. They have great stats, articles, comparison tools, fixture tickers and so much more. From just £2 a month you can improve your FPL game. There is a link in the description which will give you 15% off. If you are interested, go and check it out. Available online and in the App Store. Enjoy. Now let's get back to the video. So for the final section of this video, we're going to have a look at how my Game Week 15 team will line up for the Boxing Day fixtures. So with the predicted transfers that I'm likely to make of Lamptey out. Now Lamptey has been not great in terms of returns. He's got this little knock that keeps coming back, which means I can't rely on him to play when I need him to. And some tough fixtures coming up for Brighton means I'm likely to move Lamptey out. Charlie Taylor, not going to play for me this week, but Burnley look much better defensively. He's nice and cheap and affordable, so that's likely to be my transfer that I make this week. So what will that mean that my team will look like for Game Week 15? In goal, we will have Martinez, who has Crystal Palace at home. A good fixture for them. Palace haven't been scoring a lot of goals in recent weeks, so fingers crossed Martinez can continue on the hot run of form that he has shown in recent game weeks. In the defence, we'll have 3 good-looking options, with Arsenal away for Chilwell. Now, Arsenal have been mixed, again, not scoring a lot of goals, so there is clean sheet potential for Chilwell there, but also a lot of attacking threat for Chilwell, as we know, with those assists and goals that he's got so far this season. We've also got Kyle Walker-Peters of Southampton away at Fulham. Southampton have been great defensively. Fulham haven't been scoring a lot of goals again, so a good fixture for a nice defender there. And Balbuena, now that we think he's going to be back fit, ready to play every week again. Brighton, again, haven't been scoring a lot of goals. Only managed to score once against a 10-man Sheffield United team last weekend. So Brighton at home for Balbuena, with a bit of goal threat and clean sheet potential there. Happy with him. Onto the midfield. So first of all, we have again another Aston Villa player, Grealish. Crystal Palace at home. They've been okay defensively, so we'll see what we get from Grealish. Grealish has done better away from home as he has at home this season, but still a good fixture, and I still hope he can get something from that fixture. Salah, West Brom at home, my captain for this game week. A great fixture for him. He's in such hot form. He rarely blanks this season. So definitely happy to have Salah in my team for the upcoming weeks, and especially as my captain on Boxing Day against West Brom. Next up in my midfield, we have Kevin De Bruyne, my vice captain this week. Just that lack of consistency that we've seen from Man City means he doesn't get the armband for me, although it is a great home fixture against Newcastle for him and his teammates. Fingers crossed they can start finding the back of the net a bit more than they have done so, but De Bruyne has looked so creative and so threatening, the points surely will come in the upcoming game weeks, and Newcastle at home could be a great time for him to do it. Then we have Son, Wolves away. Son has been slightly better away from home than he has at home so far this season, so happy with this fixture for him. Although Wolves have not been bad defensively, we'll see how they get on against Burnley this evening. But Son, everyone seems to own him, happy for him just to tick along. Not much more to be said about him. Unlikely to captain him just because he's very hit and miss with his returns. It's hard to predict when he does get points. He does get a lot of them, but it's hard to predict. So he's not my captaincy at the moment. And then finally we have Bruno Fernandes, the man that is incredibly consistent so far this season, both away from home and at home. Leicester away, not actually an easy fixture, with Leicester defending very well recently this season, but so happy to have him. Fingers crossed he can get some more points for me in game week 15, but if he doesn't, he's still there for the long run in my team. Finally, onto the forward line, we have Bamford with Burnley at home. A great fixture for Leeds, and they'll hopefully want to bounce back after that beating they got from Manchester United. And fingers crossed Bamford can get on the score sheet in that game, which he didn't manage to do, even though there were 2 goals against Manchester United. And then Calvert-Lewin again just ticking along nicely for me. Sheffield United away, fingers crossed he can get back to goal scoring ways, even though he's had a few assists in the last week, but I really want those goals from him to make it worthwhile keeping him over a few of the other assets which are looking a bit more appealing. So this means that my bench will be Taylor. New signing actually will go straight onto my bench because I don't want to start him over any of my 3 defenders this week. And then the usual Mitchell, Brewster and Forster will stay on my bench this week. But that is how I plan on lining up for game week 15. Let me know your questions and all your teams in the comments down below. I'll make sure to answer them ahead of the game week 15 deadline at 11 o'clock on Boxing Day. So that's all we've got time for in this video. Merry Christmas guys, and good luck in game week 15. If you've enjoyed the video and you've enjoyed the content on the channel recently, it would really appreciate it if you could make sure you like this video, but more importantly subscribe to the channel. A little Christmas present for me if you guys could smash that like button. Let's try and hit over 50 likes again, and if we can get to 1.6 thousand subscribers before Christmas, that would be really appreciated guys. But make sure you have a good break, enjoy the football, and have a great Christmas with whoever you are able to spend it with, and good luck in game week 15 guys, and I will see you all next time.